What's up there, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So last time we brought this wonderful set of locomotives back to City South. Today I'm really excited to tell you about the next steps of our journey. So please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Right then, guys, so last time we drove our wonderful DH4 back. We've got a DE6, we've got a slug, we've got the DM1U, we've got a 282 which we found along the way, and we've got a DE2 which we found along the way. So this is super exciting. We've got a lot of restoration work to do, and we've also got the boiler for the 060 to go into place. So that's really exciting as well. Now, what I do want to say, guys, is since the last episode, in real time, the latest update of the game has hit 9.9.4. So we do have the opportunity to do a few things differently now, like respray our slug. We can repaint our utility rail car and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that we can now do. There's a lot of new gadgets and things like that. It's been really quite a way to get to this stage because I had recorded quite a few episodes in advance. So I've got a few things that I want to do in order to actually explore the new episode as part of our playthrough. But first things first, I want to get this set of Locos packed away into the museum. So what I'm going to do is throw this switch to start off with and start backing these babies up. So we do have our remote control connected, although our DH4 is switched off currently. So let's fire her up. You'll see she's pretty good for fuel and oil, etc. So we're probably not going to need to manually service the DH4, but we will take a look at the other locos. I'm pretty sure everything else is going to be alright. We have got a parking brake on, and let's just have a quick look. We do need to throw this switch now, and then we should be good to go back. But yeah, we'll just be using the DH4 for this pushback. We do have other parking brakes on, I think. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Just see if there's anything else on back here. Slug shouldn't be on. How about this lady? Yes, it is. So we're probably going to find that each of these have got a parking brake on now as well, since I last played. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to playing through. I've been doing a number of videos and updates on the latest update, and it's been a lot of editing and stuff, so yeah, it's great to get back to playing the game. But yeah, I've got a plan in mind. So in this episode, we're going to be storing these guys in the museum, so that's going to be pretty cool, just to get them into the right lanes. We don't have a lot of restoration paint on hand in terms of the demonstrator paint, so we're going to have to pick some of that up. And I was thinking, what better way to do that than to take a round trip on the map? So this is the way things are going to go. In this episode, we'll store these locos. We'll get the boiler for the 060 into place and fitted. We will respray the 060 or 060. Which one is it? Let me know in the comment section. We'll pull the steamer into place for repair, so the 060, and then the next episode will be a tutorial on steam, as in the 060 startup / restoration, because there's been a few changes there in the latest update, which we'll discuss. And following that, we're then going to stretch the legs of the steamer a little bit and give her a run around the map. Now what I want to do is travel to each of the 5 shops around the map. So we've got City West, we've got Machine Factory in town, we've got Food Factory in town, we've got Goods Factory in town, and we've got Harbour in town, and then a trip back here to City South. So that gives us 6 videos, a 6 series run of travelling from place to place. Now you might say to yourself, well, why is it 6 videos? Well, the reason for that, the reason why it's going to be such a challenge is because we are going to be using the 060 for those runs. So I'm going to need to find jobs to give us those runs, and in turn also drive her for that distance. So we're going to have to refuel her. We're going to have to make sure that she makes it, you know. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to give her a bit of mileage. So there's our first step. So we've got our boiler in place. So that's now been dumped into place in terms of it's been offloaded. So if we look here, it's now gone from there. And as you can see, our next step is to install the missing parts over here on the machine. So I'll tell you what, we'll do that in just a sec. The first thing I want to do here is to make use of the new museum light. So we'll do that by throwing it. And that will remain on for the history of our playthrough because there's no automatic lights anymore in the museum. It's either on or off. And I think it always looks better on. It's always dark and dingy in here, whether it's day or night. So let's keep it on from now on. Right, so you'll see firstly here that the DE2, the 282 and the DMU or DM1U all fit on here nicely. So that's a good thing. The only thing is we're going to have to push them back with the utility rail vehicle. So what I'm going to do is what I'll do is I'll put the parking brake on this young lady and we'll hop out. And what I'm going to do is disconnect here. In fact, I could probably do this with the remote if I can figure out how many coupling points we've got. We've got 1, 2, and it'll be coupling point 3 that we're going to disconnect from. So we'll just turn this, and there we go. So she's uncoupled actually. She'll have a parking brake on. The parking brakes might have come on these two as well now. But just to ensure safety here, in terms of no rubbing of buffers, just going to pull these girls forward a tiny bit. As you can see there, she's rolling back. There we go. That'll do nicely. So what I'll do is now that that's on, I'll just hop up here. And just while that compressor's refilling, we'll switch that off. And the compressor's now full, so we'll just shut that down. I'll leave the lights on, because we'll be using her in just a sec again. For a further pushback. But we are going to jump in here. I'm going to throw some switches on here. What else do I want to do here? I want a cab light. Stick these on as well. Yeah, we'll have those on as headlights. And headlights front and back. What else am I going to do here? I'm going to start her up. I'm going to leave her as she is just for the moment. I'm just going to throw this. Right. What we'll do is we'll just rotate this. So I want the 282... Sorry, the DE2 into its spot first, which I think is there. Yep, so we'll do that. Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise. So clockwise is page up. Obviously, if you want anti-clockwise, it's page down. So there we go. Whoa, what's happened there? Stuck there for a moment. Right, we'll hop in here. So, actually, I did say, didn't I, that these parking brakes are likely to be on, which they're actually not. So it's just the front loco that gets the parking brake when you're using the remote. So let's see if everything else is good here. So we need her in reverse. I'm going to put her into gear 2. I don't want too much torque. I'm going to release the parking brake. The main brake's off. So what I can now do is go back here and control this engine, which is good. So we're 2 on the throttle there. It might take a bit to get it going because we don't have a lot of torque. If we try to drive it in gear 1 and try and push these locos back, we'll end up with a bunch of wheel slips. So thankfully there's not so much of that happening. So there we go. It recognises the DE2 is now in place, so that's good. So what we might do, if we can't find jobs that go into City West and Machine Factory in town, we might use the S060 to pull the utility rail vehicle and the short flat car in order to bring the parts back for the DE2 and the 282, if that makes sense, because we will need 2 cars to do that, and the only 2 available in the game are the DM and the short flat car, unfortunately. I wish you could have 2 flat cars. 2 trailers would be far better than having to take the utility rail vehicle every time. Because it's not very well powered, as we've just established. So just 2 clicks on the throttle really is all she can take. If you try to put more than that, you'll get wheel spin. If you try to do it in the first gear, you'll get wheel spin. So we just want her on here, and then we'll put the 282 into place. Of course, we can't do any of this with the remote because she's diesel only, she's not electric. Okay, let's just kill the power there for a sec. So the engine braking's been reduced on the utility vehicle, so that's a good thing, because previously it was very strong. 282's going here. So let's just rotate this round now. So there we go. 282. Oh, I think I pushed that handle there a little bit. Right, reverse. Brake off. You can hear that push happening there. She's struggling. So if I notch up the throttle again. Ah, she's going. She's going. I can't wait to restore this 282 though. I think it's going to look fantastic. Alright, remember she is quite long because she's got a tender on the back, so we just need to be a little bit careful here about how far back we go. I think that might be about it. Let's have a look. See how far back we've gone. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, she's in, isn't she? She's looking splendid. So again, we've got missing parts to order for her as well. We'll just unhook this. Again, we got that little alarm there to tell us we've got a brake pipe connected, but we're not attached. It's quite a nice little feature, I think, that alarm. It does help you out a bit. You can only hear it when you're in the cab or nearby, though. So there's not much use if you're using the remote, although you might still hear it out here. We certainly just did, didn't we? Right, so I'm going to put her in front of the flat car, because like I said, when we go to pick up the part, it's likely to be, well, it will be the 2 together, won't it? The DMU and the flat car together. We need the 2 trailers. Yeah, I wish they'd allow you to have 2 shorts though. That would be much better in my opinion. Hop up here. So we have that cutout now there as well. I mean, obviously this is a few weeks old now, all this information, isn't it? We've already covered it on the channel, but at least it's you know, it's good to know. It's good to know we're up to date with it. Ooh, that was a little hard, but not too bad. What I'll do is I'll just connect these up now, because we are going to be using them together next time we use either of them, I think. So the intention is, when we drive around the map, is to grab plenty of paint as well, so that we utilise the paint when it comes to respraying these 2, because it's now possible. Right, I'm going to put the parking brake on here. We'll release the loco brake. Might as well. We'll stick that like that. You might have noticed I released the parking brake on the trailer. Why not? We'll look to shut down, so I'm going to shut the electrics off. We'll switch all this stuff off. I'm going to hop out, and I'll kill her with the kill switch. And there we go. So there we've got a number of things done. We've got our 282 parked, we've got our DE2 parked, and we've got our flat car parked. So next up, we'll bring in the DE6 and the slug. Now, I don't think they'll both fit into a lane. So, what I'm going to do is park the slug over there next to the caboose. Having said that, you know, the slug is of great use now because it works with the remote installed as well. Sorry, not installed, but switched on. So it works with the remote installed as well as having the MU cable connected, which is fantastic. So both can be utilised at the same time. As where the caboose now, as far as I can tell, is rendered pretty much useless apart from its additional train brake, which is neither here nor there really, is it? Because the remote is no longer... The remote extension, sorry, in terms of the range extension, is no longer a factor in there because it's no longer in there, the device. And the remote charger is no longer in there. So you let me know, guys, what use is the caboose now? What I will say here is that these three are not going to fit. So I'm going to have to take the DE6 and the slug separately here. So let's start off by doing that. Now you might be thinking he's forgotten to release the front. Well, I haven't. I'm going to do it now like that. There we go. Wow, did you see that shift? The one thing I will say is we're going to have a parking brake on now, which I'm going to have to release. So there we go. What else do we need to do in here? We need to release the train brake. And we've got lights on, so we'll give her a little bit of throttle. In fact, you know, you can stand actually not only back here, but you can stand up here now to control the DE6, which is absolutely wild. I mean, obviously they're going for playability, I think. But yeah, it's quite cool. So yeah, we've left behind our DH4. Try and get everything on here. I think that's going to be on. Let's have a look. Yeah. Alright, excellent. So we're going to be going anti-clockwise here. So we'll just pop the slug in here. Can't wait to repaint her. I mean, she is facing the wrong way actually. She's facing reversed. But it's absolutely fine. It makes sense anyway, doesn't it, to have locos back to back. And by habit I've gone into the cab when really I want to be up here to see what's happening. And there we go, she's in. Right, let's disconnect. Oh, actually, parking brake on. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this trip around the shops as well. Oops. MU cable released as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting, I think, to go and gather all the stuff. And then what we're going to do is have a special episode of shopping, obviously. When we get back, I mean, we're going to have a special episode of tidying up the tool shed. Just imagine, and that'll be before we actually do a full sort of installation with the various gadgets and stuff into our lead loco, the DH4. And yeah, we'll spray paint our little treasures as well, like for example our slug. Right, so where's the DE6 going? Right, that's the DE4, DE6. Again, the DE6 doesn't need manually servicing, neither does the slug, because we've barely switched them on since they were serviced last. This is the first time she's really been ran, because the DH4 did all the work. Generally speaking, I mean, the DE6 we did, I believe, we did use her a little bit in the last episode, but for me that's thinking back weeks now, because I've had that many episodes queued up. I haven't needed to record anymore. I've been focusing on the new content for the update, which has taken up a lot of time, like I said, with editing and whatnot. So we're going to shut her down now. Got a warning there, but that's just because I have thrown that. That's all good. Right, let's power her off as well. Might as well switch everything off properly. We do have... Oh, no, we don't. It seems like there's the light on in here, but it isn't. It's the wonderful museum lights lighting the way for us, which is fantastic. Next job then, DH4. I thought that we were supposed to rotate with this now, but obviously not. I don't mind, to be honest with you. It's absolutely fine to stay where we are. Doesn't spoil the immersion for me. So what you could do here, you could actually rotate the turntable while she's reversing, so that she just goes in nicely. But you get this kind of grinding noise as if you're going too fast around the corner. I'll show you what I mean. You've probably already done it, guys. I know I'm kind of often preaching to the converted here, but I'll show you. Oh, she's not doing it. Here she comes. DH4 lined up nicely. Look at that. What a thing of beauty, eh? How smooth that is. There we go. Nicely in. Bit of parking brake, eh? There we go. A little warning again. And we'll throw that. What else are we going to do? We're going to turn her off. We're going to turn off the lights. And we'll turn the power off as well. There we go. So nice job all round, I'd say. Happy as anything can possibly be with our locos being all in place there. Look at them all actually lined up very nicely. In fact, it would be lovely to get the micro in there, but maybe not. We'll just do it like that then. Wonderful stuff. So yeah, guys, our next step is to pull the steamer out of there, the S060, and we're going to use the micro shunter for that because she's been improved apparently. So she's been actually, the power's been increased. She's far more usable. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use it to put the S060 into the bay for repair before we do anything else. So let's switch everything on here. That's fine. We'll get the parking brake off, put her into drive, and I think the brake should already be off, so let's go. The one thing we don't have is a light. Too sure whether that's it or not. I'll have to check. Let's have a look on the external camera. Yeah, that hasn't done anything, has it? Maybe it was already on. Yes, it was. Right, so we are rotating round, aren't we? And we're going to go and get the steamer now. So let's sit here. Did you hear that hiss there? That's what I meant. So it sounds as if you're going around a corner too fast, or around a turn too fast, sorry. So it's like, it's a bit weird that. It's a bit of a bug, isn't it? Again, very unhealthy sounding. In fact, we can use the remote with this, so there we go. And she doesn't have an independent brake, the micro, so perfect for shunting. And she's going just about the right speed there, although I will slow down a tiny bit. So there we go. Here she goes. In fact, oh yes, the parking brake would have been released because I used the coupling button there. I always forget. It's like, it's one of those things where when you do it, it's like, oh yeah, of course, we can just pull the thing out, no problem. But you forget. Then you start thinking, oh, the parking brake. But yes, of course, it releases it. That's why it's so convenient to use the remote. It's fantastic. So So there we go. So we are going to rotate quite far here, actually. All the way round to there. Obviously, we are not. So I need to just hop up here, don't I? Because otherwise I'm not going to go with it. Terrible, isn't it? I really don't like that at all. So what all we're going to do here is just get her into position. So I didn't hear a ping there like you normally would. So let's just hop down and see if it recognises. Ready for manual service. It doesn't recognise it as being in. I guess she's not far enough back. So let's give her another little push. I'll tell you why it doesn't recognise it. It's because we need to do the repair, don't we? So I didn't do that. I said I was going to do it after I put those other locos in. So let's do that. We'll do that now, in fact. Right, okay, so inserting the old wallet, 55,000. In fact, that'll be an accumulation of not only the installation fee for putting the boiler into the S060, but also for the two parts that we need for the DE2 and the 282. So there we go. So there we go, it's come up in the top corner to tell us that our next step is to repair and refuel. But it didn't tell us, you know, to go and collect the DE2 part for the drivetrain or the S282 running gear. But we're certainly going to be doing that in due course. So that's the receipt. It says here, choose products you wish to buy. I remember the first time I saw that, I was highly confused. But for now, we have done everything that we need to do. And the next episode will be about repairing this young lady because she's now highlighted here as being ready for the old manual service, the L026. So yeah, she's ready, guys. So what we're going to do next time, manually service and repair her, and then I'm going to talk about, in a tutorial sense, how to start up a steam locomotive, specifically the 060. So that should be fun, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this one. Hit the like button if you did. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you go ahead and do that. And yes, guys, hit the notification bell for up and coming videos. Otherwise, guys, please do take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys again soon.